Hi, in today's video I'll show you step by step how you can create an animated Flipcard interaction in Storyline 360. Are you ready? Then let's get started. While browsing for inspiration on the internet, I came by this excellent pricing Flipcard on codepen.io by Ivan Krajdic. Now let me show you how it works. So you can here choose kayaking and it will flip and you'll see the kayak, water and a stone. And now I'll choose camping, it flips again. You'll see a tent, bushes and a stone with bushes. Now let's see how we can replicate this Flipcard in Articulate Storyline. I already created the Articulate Storyline project called Flipcard. Now let's change the background to the yellow in our example. So I'll right click with my mouse, go to Format Background, and for solid fill I'll choose here more colors. Now I know the HTML equivalent. I added two custom colors here, click on OK, and we have our background right now. Now the next step is to add the cards. I will first create one card, the camping card, and if this is ready then we can adjust something and we have the kayaking card. The next step is to add the background of the card, so therefore I go to Insert here, choose Shape, and I want a rectangle or a rounded rectangle. So I draw it on my screen and I want the width to be 400 pixels and the roundness has to be a little bit less, so I think this is okay. And now we can change the color to white. So for theme colors I choose white and I want no shape outline. So the next step is to add the cross background here on the card, and I will do this on the state so I don't have too many things here on my timeline. So what I'll do, I select this, go to states, edit states, and now I can go to Insert, Picture here, and select the grass image and click on Open, and now I can place it here. So done, and you see now I have the card with the grass on it. And our next step is to add the text on the card. So for instance, camping and the price, that sort of stuff. So what I'll do is I'll press Ctrl T on my keyboard and type camp. I choose Open Sans now for the easiness, make it bold, so that's okay, and let's make it 20 points. And I want to center align it here. So let's see if that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. And I want to make it green. So what I can do here is now go to my Home tab, to Color, and choose the eyedropper. And now I have a green camping word. So that's okay. And what I can do now is can copy this one, place it somewhere lower. And now I want the pricing. So it was 29 for 8 hours. And I want it to be not bold, and there has to be a subscript underneath. This has to be a little bit smaller, and we can make it italic, so I press Ctrl I. Now the place was Tara, Serbia. I don't want it italic, but I want it bold, so it's okay. I want to center align it, and I want a Google icon, so I'll go here to Icon, Icons, Maps icon, and I want this one, so I'll click on Insert, a little bit large now, so I can make it smaller, place it here in the center. Let's make it a little bit smaller, and it has to be 25, and I will make it green, so I'll choose my eyedropper and it's green right now. So we have the first outline of the camping card. Now in the example there was a moving object, looked like a circle behind the word camping, and it changed a little bit in its form. Now that we can do, but what we could do is add a circle there, go to Shape, Basic Shapes, and add a circle, and if I press my Shift key it will be a perfect circle. So I'll place it in the center now, and we'll drag it behind camping, and now we'll create a gradient. So I'll go to Format here, Shape Fill, go to Gradient, More Gradients, I'll choose Gradient Fill, and what I can do now here is add my gradient colors. So I'll choose them what I can do now is I add my gradient colors. So I have them here in a text file. So I will copy them. So here I'll choose for more color, dark green, and I don't need a second stop, so I only need 2 stops. So here we'll add light green. So this is okay. So let's see how it shows. Now I don't want an outline, but I want a shadow as in the example. So you see how it looks right now. So this is the basics of the card. In our example there was also a button on the card, so let's add a button with rounded rectangles, and the button says choose date. The font has to be smaller, the color will be white of the font, and the button background will be green. So button fill is okay, and we don't need a border. That's okay for now. Now I can make a group of this and then create the second card. Now I've also created the kayaking card, and now I can make the animation that the card flips and also the object that will appear on the different cards. So that's the next step. I'll now create 2 layers for the different Flipcard states, and the default state of the Flipcard will be kayaking. So I'll center kayaking here, and what I'll do is create the different layers. So the first is camping. I can cut this here and paste it here and position it, and I'll create a second layer. It's called kayaking, and what I'll do now is I'll copy the kayaking card and place it on the kayaking layer. I have to place them a little bit lower so there's room for the toggle. So let's see, Y of 130, so 130 it is also for this one, and also on my base layer. So let's go to format and 130 pixels. Now I'll add the toggle. So I have 2 buttons, and I will make it simple right now. So one button here says and the other button says camping. And let's go to states here. I want the selected state, so I have to create a new state. States, built-in selected. So now there's a selected state, and let's give the selected state a different fill color. It's a little bit lighter, so this is okay. And for the text on the selected state, I want something darker, so this is okay. So you can see the difference right now. So this button has a selected state, and I'm done here. So if I select this button, I'll copy the format paint, choose the format painter, and now I'll paste it on this one, and you'll see here is the selected state also available. Now, because this kayaking is the initial state, I want this selected, and I want to create a button group here. So there, in a button group, there can only one button be selected. So I'll right mouse click, go to button set, and choose button set 1. In the Flipcard example on CodePen, there were some extra items on the Flipcard, and I will also add these to Articulate Storyline. So here I go to Insert, Picture, and choose the kayak, the water drops, and the stone. I will direct these water to here. I'll position the stone here. I'll move the kayak over here and the water over there. And what I will do is I'll place the camping and the kayaking buttons on top of the elements, so they are still clickable. Now let's focus on that if you click on the kayaking or the camping button, the Flipcard turns and you'll see the other Flipcard. So what I will do here is I'll copy the kayaking group, go to the camping card, and I'll paste my group here. And what I'll do now is I'll add an animation, and here it is swivel animation and exit animation, 1 second. And I'll drag this one here to the end, and on the camping card I'll add a swivel animation, but it's starting animation, and I'll position them here. So first you'll see the kayaking card, and then you'll see the camping card. I will do the same on the other layer, but done the other way around. So what I'll do here is I'll copy the camping card, go to kayaking, add this one, and here I don't need an entrance animation, but I need an exit animation. 1 second. I'll position this one at the slide, and here I'll have an entrance animation, a swivel of 1 second that starts after a half a second. So this is okay. Now we can go back to the base layer and make the animation or the interaction work, so that if you click on the camping button, this object will disappear and you go to the camping layer and the cards will turn. So what I'll do now is I'll add some exit animations, the images. So here I'll add a fade animation and I'll position them so they're check show to end, and I'll position them that they are not all fading together at the same time. And what I'll do now is I'll add a trigger that stops the timeline. Otherwise, if you start your slide, the timeline goes and the object will disappear automatically. That's something we don't want. So what I'll do now is I'll add a trigger that says pause timeline on this slide when the timeline starts on not picture 1 but this slide. So now the timeline starts here. And what I want to do now is, if I'll click on the camping button, that I want to play the timeline. So resume timeline, I will jump to slide to time. The time is 3.25 seconds when the user clicks object 4, and I want to play the timeline. And what I would want to do now is that if the kayak animation, because that's the latest and last animation, if this one ends, that I want to jump to the camping card. So I'll add a new trigger that says show layer camping when animation completes and on picture 1. And now let's see how this works in preview mode. So I'm now in preview mode and I'll click on the camping card. You see the object disappear and you see their cards are spinning, but the card on the base layer is still visible. So what I will do is I'll close my preview mode, go to my camping layer, and here I'll remove the objects on the base layer. And now let's preview this slide again. So let's preview this slide and click again on camping. You see the objects disappear, spin, and now the camping card is here. And now we can here also add the objects and the buttons. So I added the objects on my second layer and also all the triggers. So this interaction is done now. So let's preview and see how it looks like. So I'm now in preview mode. This is the base layer. If I click on camping right now, you'll see the object disappear. The card will spin, the other objects appear. And if I click on kayaking again, the objects disappear, the cards will spin, and I am on the kayaking slide again. So I'm curious how you find that it's worked out from the CodePen example, and if it looks like how I replicated it in Articulate Storyline. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about Articulate Storyline and creating e-learning courses, then check out the playlist right here. And if you like this video, then feel free to hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. See you in the next video. Bye!